Jake Paul, the social media sensation, beats Anderson the Spider Silva in a unanimous decision in an 8-round boxing fight. I believe the judges scored it 77-74, all in favor of Jake Paul. At first look at watching the entire fight, I thought it was a very, very close fight between the two. Very hard to score. Until Anderson Silva in the 8th round got dropped by a overhand right from a short distance from Jake Paul. So that knockdown for me kind of sealed the deal in terms of who won the fight on the night. For me and everyone out there, I think coming into this fight, we were all interested to see if the greatest of all time in MMA could rise up to the occasion in boxing. Because let's be real, MMA, I would say, it's a different type of sport. Probably more cardio, more endurance, more strength, because there's kicks, wrestling, jiu-jitsu involved, and knees, elbows, clinches, all sorts. But Anderson Silva was very old. He was 47 years old, but he moved very well for a 47-year-old. If I was 47 and I moved like that, I'll be a happy bunny. He moved so well, I would have thought that Jake Paul was fighting someone in his 30s, basically. We also wanted to see if Jake Paul could rise up to the next level of challenge that he put before him. He fought a basketball player, and then he fought a wrestler, and then another wrestler, but with knockout power, twice. And now he's fighting a legitimate striker, who really could slip, punch, and I think it was his first southpaw fighter. A lot of us thought Anderson Silva would get the job done purely because of his experience and skill level, and I thought that because of the rule sets of boxing, obviously boxing is more tighter, the game is more specialized in timing, and rather than in MMA there's a lot more involved. It's more like a rock paper scissors game. We thought Anderson Silva, you use some snidey tactics or some dirty boxing to outwit Jake Paul, or see his counter knockout punches. Okay, what we did see was Anderson Silva starting off very slow in the first round, just feeling Jake Paul up, and not much happening. He sort of gave the round to Jake, and then the second round came, and Anderson Silva came out strong, came out hard, came out with his old head movement, head bobbing, even tapping his leg, looking like he was going to feint a kick. I believe he did that against Chavez as well, and pulled it off, and I think got Jake on the ropes and caught him with a hook. The next few rounds, I would say the 3, 4, and 5, all the way up to 6 rounds, it was very hard to score. It was Anderson Silva pushing the pace. It was very unusual for Anderson Silva. He doesn't do this. He's normally a counter fight. Normally sits back and waits for the opponents to come. He normally does his front kick. Obviously, there's no kick, so a little bit disappointed to see this ploy of tactic against Jake, because it just looked like he was just pushing and getting close, and he landed a lot of punches, landed some great uppercuts. Not much power though. Maybe with age you lose a bit of that explosive energy. I'm not sure. Anderson Silva was never too renowned for his punches. Uh, he had good precision, good timing, good head movement. Yeah, he did a lot of head movement. His head movements were over exaggerated at times, not what you expect in boxing. Boxing, you need that tight head movement. In MMA, you move your head, you bob your head quite wildly to evade lots of punches and throw kicks and do your changing levels. So that in MMA it's understandable. In boxing, you don't have all that where you have to slip it and fire your counter attacks. Jake Paul did a lot of moving backwards in the ladder, straight back. Hasn't improved in his footwork. He's just moving into the ropes. Got stuck in the ropes a lot of times, and every time he got in trouble, he tried to clinch up with Anderson Silva. The first, second, and third round, he did quite well clinching up. I think it annoyed Anderson Silva. But as the rounds gone on, I think Anderson used his Thai plum, and Jake just did not know what to do, and he could just land his uppercuts. This is a good thing when you have a good wrestling background. You can just clinch and just do whatever you want to the other guy if the guy has no clue. Okay, I think by the end of it, I think Jake had to get double underhooks and proper tie Anderson up to avoid these uppercuts. We all know that Jake has a wrestling background in his college days. But overall, both fighters had a few successes in their own way. I would say Anderson Silva was good in closing up, throwing small punches here and there throughout the at close range. Jake Paul threw the cleaner punches in the breaks, but it was more Anderson Silva's. I would say Anderson Silva landed way more punches. Even I would say way more power shots as well. But Jake Paul, I think, landed the stronger punches. Both guys threw wild punches at each other, swinging. I was surprised that Anderson Silva didn't capitalize on that. You could see with his age, he's lost a lot of his reaction time, and that does happen as you get older, unfortunately. And in the old days, I would have thought that Anderson would have jumped on that, would have gave him a left cross, or numerous times. Anderson didn't even throw much jabs. Not sure what the tactics were on that side. I think he just wanted to outpoint him. It seems like he just wanted to pressure, win by aggression and win by punches landed. Not really throwing the power punches, going for the knockout. He got very desperate towards the end in the 8th round. That's where I think he got knocked down. He was really I could see it coming. Like, if you pressure someone like that who's got a strong overhand right, he's gonna throw it, and he did. He didn't even land that well. Even Jake Paul said he took a lot better punches from him, a lot harder punches from him, but because you could see he squared up. He wanted to land his cross so badly. He squared up. This was a bit disappointing, because this is combat sports 101. You do not do. You square up on your opponent in whatever sport. You even if a small punch lands, you're gonna get dropped. You can see it didn't hurt him too much. It was a flash knockdown, but that obviously it was a knockdown, so obviously it was a 10-8 round, so that sort of gave the fight entirely to Jake. I mean, you can if there was no knockdown, you can kind of argue who won the fight. But because of the knockdown, there's no controversy. But well done to Anderson Silva. Well done to Jake Paul. Jake Paul did well. He stuck to his plan. He had, he swung a lot. His footwork needs improvement, but overall he had good defense. Anderson Silva had a good chin. They both had good chins, to be fair, but not sure what's going to happen to Jake. Jake Paul needs some improvements. I think if he still fights MMA fighters or retired fighters, I think he can still get away with what he's doing right now. Anderson's 47. Not sure what's going to be next for him. I've heard he's always wanted to fight Roy Jones, but Roy Jones did not too bad with Tyson, so I wouldn't say no to that. That would be quite cool to watch. But Jake Paul, I think he's got a long way to go before he fights Canelo. If I was Canelo, I might actually take him on right now and just like knock the shit out of him, like how what Mayweather did to Canelo. Mayweather didn't knock him out, but Mayweather fought him when Canelo was up and comer, and now Mayweather's got this one up on Canelo. So good on him. But yeah, we'll see what happens when Jake fights a legitimate boxer. I don't know who he would try. I think he's definitely challenging himself. He said he's fought a lot of sparred with a lot of pro boxers. He's definitely got better than in his last fight, and his opponent is a lot better than his last. Let's be real. And we'll see. See you in the next video. Peace.